Welcome to Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster. And you are going to get like a jump start on 8/2 at our Network Today live conference. It is absolutely going to be over the moon powerful. Over the moon powerful. And here's why. Because we've got 14 speakers over 6 hours, very spaced Las Colinas, supporting local, right? But we have got a keynote leader panel of business leaders who slay networking. Like slay networking. They network themselves and they also support networking within their team, which leads us to, Rob?
Mr. Nick Bristow.
Yes, that's
I know, and the thing that I'm really looking forward to, Cheryl, is in our networking community, we talk to a lot of small business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, but now we're bringing very successful executives who use networking to impact their companies. So now we're really, I really want to be able to listen to all the panelists so that we can learn something about, again, how big companies use networking.
Yeah, and Nick, you got a pretty good big thing going, right?
Yeah, got a good thing going.
That's right. So
got a good thing going.
Real estate, most of it commercial. I mean, most of it residential, right?
Right, about 70% residential, maybe 30% commercial.
All right, and over 700 agents.
In DFW, about 700 agents.
That's a lot of children.
Yeah, but it's a networking industry.
It is a networking industry.
It's a pure networking industry.
So with that, and we were so excited to have you come in and speak to this because you've got independent agents, right? So they're operating on their own. They're not W-2 employees. They can't be told what to do. And so how do you guide your agents on how to build a network? What are some of those tools or things that you use?
Well, it's, a lot of people get into the business thinking it's going to be easy money. There's no such thing, first of all, as a six-figure income that's easy. It's going to be a lot of hard work.
Right.
And so the agents that think it's easy work, great money, they typically leave the business. So you have a core group of people. So you'll have a rotation at the bottom of the company, new people coming in and leaving, changing firms and leaving the business. But then you have your core group of people that are producers, they work hard, and it's all about teaching them how to get the word out that they're a real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
And that because they make their living off networking and people knowing them. Because social media posts only go so far, postcards only go so far. My agents that network, they volunteer, they're out in their community earning respect as leaders. They're the ones that really grow a business, and it's like 99% of their business is from networking.
Boy, you just hit on something that was really key, and Rob and I talk a lot about this. And that was building respect in the community as a leader, as giving, as being a very community driven, and we call it selling through and not to. And it's one of the things I try to coach new real estate people who are coming into our networking world on how to do. So how do you identify, or do you have to help identify those things when you see somebody kind of getting off track, like they have a really great potential, but you're kind of seeing them try to sell to everybody instead of building that leadership position?
Yeah, and I think it comes from our need for instant gratification. Something like pipeline building and networking takes time, and a lot of the world. I mean, I can order something on Amazon and I've had stuff within a couple of hours at the house. So that kind of sets the standard that I want things to happen quickly. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you move that into something like networking, it's distinctly different. You're not going to get immediate results. Building a reputation like Alexandra, it takes decades sometimes to build it at that level. But even building a good reputation, you can do it relatively quickly depending on who you socialize with, where you volunteer. I've got agents, like one of my agents, Patrick, the minute there's a storm, he's in his Jeep with a chainsaw, he's cutting trees, and they're like, can I, do I owe anything? He's like, nope, just remember the agent that helped you. And so he gives him a card. When we had Snowmageddon, same thing, he's out pulling people out. I'm not going to charge you, just remember the agent that helped you out. And so that's how he grew his business, plus the PTA, the city council, he does all these things. But he doesn't actually market, hey, I'm your realtor, use me. They respect him, and they want to use him because they trust him as a leader.
That's powerful.
It's very powerful.
Does he create a team of others that he trains them on how to do that? Is that
yeah, he runs my mentorship program because he's so good at understanding. If you network just to get business, you're not going to do well.
Right.
If you network because you genuinely care and love to help people, that authenticity is what's attractive to people.
Is there something built into your kind of your training program that you do specifically talk about networking and the importance of it on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, we have oh my God, we have so much training. It's incredible. The bulk of the training revolves around how to meet people and how to win business. Okay. And it's not simply here's a call, hey, I'm an agent. If you need me, let me know. Yeah. It really goes down into developing relationships with people, what that means, and if it's purely, you don't want to be everybody's buddy because we don't have time to be everybody's buddy.
Right.
So how do you network to a large group of people? That's through earning respect. Mm-hmm. Like Tracy, for example, if you're volunteering at MetroCrest, you're going to meet other people that respect and appreciate you because you're doing that, and you're like, man, that's a pretty dang good lady. Yeah. Why don't we talk to her because I know she's an agent. I trust her to help us sell our home. Mm-hmm. And so that's how that business is conducted. My biggest producers in my office have zero social media, none. They don't even have a Facebook page because it does not generate as much business as people think. It doesn't.
Wow. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, Cheryl?
I don't know. Well, I'm not on Facebook specifically, but I am kind of astonished by that.
Yeah, it's one of these industries where there's so much of a trust factor, and just marketing and you're a stranger when they probably know someone who's an agent that they already trust. So the statistics are pretty low unless you already have a huge following on Facebook and you're an influencer and they want to meet you. Then I've had some agents that have been very successful because they were already influencers. So of course everyone wanted to because they wanted to meet them, right?
Right.
But the agents that grow a business organically, not from being an influencer, is from networking. 100% from networking.
Wow.
That's important. Mm-hmm. I think that is a really key element that we need to portray, and that's a building trust. And if you don't have trust, then you could have the greatest business in the world, but if I don't trust you as a person to show up on time, to do what you say you're going to do, to pour into the community, then why would I trust you with my dollar? Yeah,
it's about being respected as a professional. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean you go out, you have to network, have to go out and party with people. Listen, if my dentist, I see him at a club throwing up in a trash can, I don't want him to be my dentist because I've seen him in a different light other than a profession. So when you're networking, you have to be careful about what you're doing. And it's not you have to be all stuffy, but you can't be party guy or party gal because that you may be fun to be around and you have a lot of friends, but who's going to use you for a serious $1 million purchase? I wouldn't,
Well, I like what you mentioned earlier about how one of your top producers really gets involved in the community, and so he's really he is giving back, and it's that whole thing: what goes around comes around. What comes around goes around, and that really to me that's the person that's going to stand out in the crowd.
They always do, and Alexandra, she's the exact same way. She's so involved in the community and the world that she wins business because people trust her, they respect her. She's a leader. And people follow, especially in a real estate transaction. It's confusing, it's complicated, it can be. And people, if they knew how to do it, they wouldn't need a realtor.
Right.
They need someone to give them leadership and guidance through the transaction process. It's going to be someone they trust and they have confidence that they can do a good job. Mm-hmm. Moreover than they can party. No one cares about that.
Right.
When it gets down to it, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone that can help me with this.
Right. Now, do you yourself get involved in the hiring process of new agents and so on, or do you have
all of them?
All of them. Okay.
Every agent I meet.
So is that typically one of the questions you ask is about networking and do they have a following and, and do they have certain networking groups they go to and that type of thing? Yeah.
So typically when an agent joins, about a month later I have a marketing meeting. I'm like, okay, how are you going to market? Let's start talking about how you're going to market. Well, I work 9 to 5 and I can't do this. I'm like, well, no, you have a great opportunity. I've got part-time agents that make 6 figures every year because they network. They're flight attendants and they know pilots, or they sell dental equipment to dentists, and so they help the dentist out. Whatever it's going to be.
Right.
It's all about earning that trust, but they also have to know you're an agent. We have an agent in, I think she's in Atlanta or Florida, named Deborah English. And she has a T-shirt machine at home, and she'll wear a shirt that has these big red lips. Your landlord, goodbye. I'm a realtor. Have you hugged your realtor today? But she volunteers, and she's always wearing these shirts. So people always know she's a realtor without saying it. And so she wins a lot of business because she's trusted, she's respected, and without saying a word, they see they have this funny realtor shirt, and so people make the connection.
Oh, that's great.
It's kind of neat.
Nick, you're going to be such a powerful component to this panel because you're going to help people address the independent agent situation. So those are independent contractors and those who lead independent contractor teams. And that's been a missing link for us, Rob. So I can't wait. Y'all need to join us. Make that reservation today, 8/2 ConnectFest. It's going to be Network Today Live, our 3rd annual conference. I cannot wait. Very Space, Las Colinas, where we're going to kill it. We're just going to kill it with this amazing panel of business leaders.
Very excited.
All right, so Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster, and we will see you on 8/2.